Now this rather unusual little game is known as Astro, Robo, SASA, published by ASCII. In this game you play a very small little robot, or perhaps a guy wearing some kind of armored suit, with an unusually large gun. I'm not sure what he's trying to compensate for, but this gun has so much kickback you can actually use it to shoot yourself around the screen. Firing it down will allow you to fly up in the air, defying the laws of gravity, and then you can fire it from side to side in order to get you around the screen. The object is to collect those energy tanks. One thing you don't want to do is to accidentally have an energy tank drop to the ground. Now you have an energy counter. You'll see that at the top of the screen. Every time you fire a shot, you lose 1 unit of energy. Hitting an enemy will cause you to lose more. You can replenish energy by collecting one of the energy tanks. Now you don't have any lives in this game, you simply play until you run out of energy and then it's game over. So the object is more or less to collect the energy tanks while losing as little energy as possible, therefore firing off as few shots as possible and not getting hit by the enemies. Altogether there's around 16 levels to this. They start off at in a field and then move on to like some sort of Air Force base or something, and eventually you go into a warehouse, an undersea sequence, and finally into outer space, which I guess is why they call this Astro, Robo, SASA. And this game is actually a little difficult. One thing about it is your energy tanks do not replenish between each level, which means that basically for each level you have to collect more energy than you use. This means playing very carefully, starting at the very beginning level. If you do not collect enough energy in the early levels, you won't have enough to actually complete the game. This game was published by ASCII, which was a well-known Japanese computer company. Since the late 70s, they were publishing a rather popular Japanese computer magazine and were a manufacturer of hardware and software. They were one of the companies that helped create the MSX computer standard, and sometime in the early 80s they started publishing computer games for the MSX and eventually the Famicom. This particular game was developed by a rather obscure company called Mass Tale Limited, but I really don't know anything about them. For better or worse, the success of the Famicom is going to see a lot of untried companies attempting to throw their hat into the video game ring.